letting go of sadness, letting go of fear that holds you down. If you open up, it makes a joyful sound. Yeah. 'Cause it's a joyful sound.
Hey there, friends. Jack Ingram here. Welcome to another edition of the Texas Music Scene, where we showcase Americana and songwriter-driven roots music. And what better place is there to do that than historic Cheatham Street Warehouse in San Marcos, Texas. This time, we're showing off the music of one of my friends, Miss Kelley Mickwee. We'll have stories and live performances with Kelley and Colin Brooks recorded down on South Padre Island. She also fills us in on making new music at Jonathan Tyler's studio in Austin with JT in the producer's chair. It's all about that Memphis River girl, Kelley Mickwee, on this special edition of the Texas Music Scene. Texas Music Scene is brought to you by Visit San Marcos, Texas. Find cool river fun and hot live music at visitsanmarcos.com. And brand new Texas Music Scene merch is available now at texasmusicscene.com/store. Now, like I said, Kelley Mickwee is a friend of mine and a friend of our show. So naturally, if she's recording and putting out new music, we like to show it off. I sat down with her in South Padre Island before her live show at Tequila Sunset, where she filled us in on her recent recordings.
Let's just pretend we're holding hands. Let's make believe we're more than friends. The illusion of love ain't always hand in glove. So let's just pretend we're holding hands.
I've been in Shiny Ribs. I've been a Shiny Soul Sister for the last, it's been almost 5 years I've been doing that. I was just starting to think over our lockdown vacation that it was about time that I put out some new music of my own. I wrote some songs that I wanted to record, and I was driving in Austin, I don't know, about 6 months ago, and I heard a Jonathan Tyler song come on the radio. A song of his called Old Friend, and I loved it. It sounded just like, what I wanted these tunes to sound like.
Someday, these days will be worth every day. Someday, these days will be worth remembering.
He's a friend, so I called him up and asked him if he'd help me produce some new music. And so he agreed, and we went into the studio a few months ago and recorded 2 tracks. So I'm just kind of doing it like, kind of a la carte, kind of doing singles instead of a full album, because I can really focus on each track and put a lot of, time and thought into each track instead of recording a whole record's worth of music and getting, overwhelmed by 10 or 12 tracks. So I'm slowly starting to get back into performing solo and booking some solo shows, playing a lot with my friend Colin Brooks.
From iron to rust, Boomtown to bust, not all that glitters is gold.
Sonically, I wanted it to be sound old-timey, sound really like it has a lot of space and a lot of reverb and a lot of, like I'm standing in a church and all the sound is kind of reverbing around me. And I wanted fiddle for sure, so I called our good friend Cody Braun from Reckless Kelly, Marty Muse, who is my new favorite pedal steel player. He definitely put the vibe on it and put some really beautiful pedal steel on this song. So I think we succeeded. One thing I love about Jonathan Tyler is his treatment on female vocals. I've always loved the records that he's produced and the way that those vocals sounded. So I'm really, really happy with the way that the vocals sound, which is something I really, really wanted to concentrate on. My last few albums I did pretty live and kind of kept a lot of live takes, and that's cool too. I dig that. I dig the live feel, but these tracks we really focused on, you know, each line and made sure that it was exactly the way that I wanted the line to sound.
Was a time you were mine, we were lovers, drifted apart, broken hearts, there were others. In the end, right on through, my mind runs back to you. 'Cause for me, you'll always be the gold standard.
It's a song called Gold Standard. And it's one that I've had written for a while. I hadn't recorded it, but it's one I always do in my live shows. So I thought it was about time to record it. And it has that old-timey country duet kind of feel. And on this song, I got Walt Wilkins to sing the harmony vocals with me on it. The bass and drums are Josh Greco from Uncle Lucius. And it's basically Jonathan Tyler's band. The studio is in his house. And really, it's just like one little tiny room in his house. And sometimes that's all you need, you know? You don't, I mean, I'm a fan of the big studios and the different rooms and being separated and all that, but this was real, the drums are in his living room and, you know, the bass is right in there with us and I'm standing in there doing my vocals. And so it was really easy and simple.
Until that day arrives, I can't be by your side. So here I'll stay 6 feet away till you can come outside. Till then, let's just pretend we're holding hands.
Here now is a live performance from Kelley Mickwee. She does Joyful with Colin Brooks on lead guitar.
It's a song called Joyful, and it's a song that I wrote with Colin Brooks, whom I have here with me tonight. In 2016, we went to Germany and did a tour, him and I and a great drummer from Austin named John Chipman. And the three of us, we just wanted to go do a little 2-3 week run in Germany, but we needed something to sell. So we went into studio with Mark Addison in Austin and we recorded a record called Birds of a Feather. And we really just released it over there. I didn't really release it over here in the States. So so I wanted to play that song today on the Texas music scene. And it's a happy song, which I have very few of. It's just a song about being grateful and joyful and, you know, being happy in what we've chosen to do for a living. As hard as it can be and as frustrating as it can be, it still brings me the most joy of anything I've ever done. So it's just kind of it's a happy song.
Everybody stumbles, everybody falls along the way, everybody needs a helping hand to hold someday. And I can hear the thunder, I can see the lightning all around. If you listen close, it makes a joyful sound. 'Cause it's a joyful, it's a joyful sound. Ain't nobody crying, lying in the everlasting arms, holding on to loving blood, ooh, and letting go of sadness, letting go of fear that holds you down. If you open up, it makes a joyful sound. Yeah. 'Cause it's a joyful, it's a joyful sound. falls from the sky, and it comes from the ground. It comes from within, and it comes from without. It's a joyful sound. Here we go. Everybody rise up. Everybody make a joyful noise. Everybody clap your hands. Sing it with one voice. Well, 'cause there ain't nobody crying, lying in the everlasting arms, holding on to love and blood. Ooh, and let go. 'Cause it's a joyful sound. Yeah, it's a joyful sound. Yeah, it's a joyful sound. It falls from the sky, and it comes from the ground. Comes from within, and it comes from without. Oh, thank you.
Hey there, friends. Welcome back to Cheatham Street Warehouse and the Texas music scene. Here's another live performance from our friend Kelley Mickwee, captured in South Padre Island. This one's called Boomtown or Bust.
Yeah, so this one's called Boomtown to Bust, and it's a song I originally wrote as a duet to sing with Dan Dyer, and he ended up singing harmony on the track, so it did end up sort of being a duet. But we had an idea kind of pre-COVID to make a duets record, and so during lockdown I sat down to write some tunes for that album, and you know, as time went on and COVID went on longer, we kind of shifted our priorities a little bit, and Dan's, you know, he's doing a lot of other things, and we just kind of put the duets record on the back burner. But I had these tunes I really wanted to record, so this one here, Boomtown to Bust, it's kind of a, you know, unrequited love song, kind of a bit of a redheaded stranger kind of feel with a mining theme.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I still can remember those last dying embers of the night we called it a day. Came down from the high wire, put out the last fire of a love we kept hidden away. I still can remember when our love was tender and nothing could drag me away. But now I can see you as the smoke clears from my view. We said all there is to say. Roll up the sidewalks, empty the mailbox, saddle up the horses, we're back to the bone dogs. From iron to rust, Boomtown to bust. Not all that glitters is gold. letting go of this load that's weighing so heavy on me. We got caught in a landslide, taken by a riptide, leaving our love lost at sea. So roll up the sidewalks, empty the mailbox, saddle up the horses, we're back to the boondocks. From iron to rust, Boomtown to bust, not all that glitters is gold. There may be a glow, honey, now we know, not all that glitters stays gold. Not all that glitters stays gold.
Welcome back to San Marcos, Texas, Cheatham Street Warehouse, and the Texas music scene. You know, Kelley Micwee's Memphis roots are pretty evident in her music. You can really hear it in her vocals. She gave us a proper Cliff's Notes version of her backstory and musical journey while we visited with her in South Padre. Here's that conversation. Kelley Mickwee.
Hi, Jack Ingram. Aww. How you doing, bud?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm pretty good.
Yeah, how did you get to Texas from Memphis?
Well, you were there in the early days.
I was there. I remember my guitar tech, Kyle Wieters, came on the bus or in the van and said, dude, you gotta get up and come see this opener.
Yeah.
She's killer.
That'll be me walking through your mind, talking to your heart most all the time.
So I was in a duo with my high school sweetheart. And then I went to college, I graduated, then we got back together, and he had a band that he'd already started, so I started hopping up and singing with him, and eventually became a part of the band, and a great songwriter named Keith Sykes spotted us, heard about us one night, and came and saw us play and decided he wanted to produce some records. So fast forward to making a record with Keith Sykes, and then he brought us down to Larry Joe Taylor Festival in Stephenville.
No kidding.
Yeah. We met everyone. And
That's a good place to meet everyone.
that's how we settled here, really. I mean, we traveled around for 5 or 6 years, and then when we went our separate ways, Jed went to Taos and I went to Austin.
You used to live here. You used to live here, and I still do.
What about you? What's going on?
I made some singles. You know, I don't know. None of us really know how to do this, right? Just kind of make it up as we go along. And I wanted to go in and record new music so I could start playing some solo shows again, but I didn't want to do a whole record because I didn't have enough songs that were, in my opinion, good enough for that. I also wanted to make a 45. I've never made a 7-inch. So I wanted to do that. So I just took about 4 songs into Jonathan Tyler's studio down at Samstown Point, his house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and we recorded 2 at a time. I've never taken that much time to really make sure I really, really love it. You know, like I don't want to waste anyone's time. I don't want to nitpick. I know that sometimes their performance is just a performance, right? In the studio or whatever. And I've always just kind of let it be what it was. And this time, I didn't do that. I really made sure that I was happy with every note.
Well, there's a difference between going back and editing things because you think they're wrong
Yeah,
versus going back and editing things or redoing things because you think they can just be better. Like that's two
true.
totally different outlooks.
that's true. But you know,
One's being scared and one's going towards something.
Birds of a feather, one and the same. 2 birds of a feather, my mind I can't change.
I'm sure there are songs of yours that you hear that you're like, oh my, I will never unhear that one thing as long as I live listening to this song. Or I wish I just would have spoken up and said, no, let me do that one more time. I can do that better.
You know what mine is? And I've done this 1,000 times. I'll listen to something and I'll go, you should have just gone for the performance. Because when it's too right, that's when I go,
for sure.
Dude, just let it be.
Yeah, that's true. But there's a balance between those two things, you know? It's kind of hard to find that. You have to have a producer that's willing to go there with you.
Right. I've always told you how much I love your voice.
Yeah.
And it's just because it's a conversational thing. Like your voice sounds, when you're singing, the same way it does when you're talking.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know. That's such a pet peeve of mine, people that sing differently than they talk.
It's because they're not really singers.
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. Singing is the one thing I know I can do, and it's the one thing that I don't question. I question my guitar playing for sure. I question stage presence. I question the dumb things that I say on stage. I question songwriting, all that. But I feel pretty confident in that I can deliver a song with that actual raw emotion that I wrote it with, which are my favorite singers. My favorite songs are the ones that you can feel it because of how they're singing it.
It can be cold, it can be cool. At the mercy of my heart.
Hey, so you have a songwriter festival that I've played with
Drew Kennedy, Josh Greider, Walt Wilkins, and Susan Gibson, and myself.
And how long have y'all been doing that?
This is our 10th year. It's our 10th anniversary. Man. Come on.
That's great.
I know.
10 years is a long time to
do anything.
You and I both know relationships are hard.
They're so hard. It's my longest one.
Congratulations.
It's called the Red River Songwriters Festival.
Was it full the first year?
No way. It was like we had 30 people there.
Yeah.
We built it slowly, you know. It can't get very big because it's in the mountains in the winter, and we're not going to put up a tent and make it real big, you know. So.
Well, when I showed up, it was one of those things where it was a 300-400 seat venue.
Yeah, that's our cap.
Won't you stay? Don't run away.
The only thing you can really ask in our world is that the people that show up know why they're there and know what they're getting.
Yeah.
So that all expectations are met, and there's enough to make an energy that really does make some noise.
And they want to be there for that one reason and that one reason only. I mean, yes, community and seeing your friends and hanging out and skiing and blah, 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 but the one reason is to hear, you know, us and then the guests that we have every year. And so, you know, it's not like people buy tickets and don't come to all the shows. They all show up. And now there's a nice little community of people that have been coming for like 10 years. So, yeah, it's pretty proud of it.
All right, everybody, this is our friend Kelley Mickwee, one of the best people on this planet. One of the, I mean, not the best.
Top 10?
Well, in the running.
I love you, brother. Thanks for having me.
It lasts and it's pure when you hold it in your shirt. The measure, the treasure, gold standard.
This episode of the Texas Music Scene was brought to you by Visit San Marcos, Texas. Find cool river fun and hot live music at visitsanmarcos.com. And go get your official Texas Music Scene merch now at texasmusicscene.com/store. Well, folks, that's it for this one. Thanks so much to all y'all for watching, and a special thanks to Kelley Mickwee, our featured musician this time. We'd also like to throw a shout out to our friends here at Cheatham Street Warehouse for having us. And as always, I'd like to remind y'all to get out and support Texas music by going and seeing some great live music. Because Texas is the one place that truly celebrates the independent spirit of making music. Let's keep it that way. We'll see you next time.